Ontario in golf tournament. How do you feel about being here and helping Nick out with the foundation?
I feel really good about it. Flew in yesterday. We had a nice, warm reception. This is a surprise coming here, the way the cabin's set up, food set up, people all friendly and smiling. It's very typical of many other trips that I've made to Toronto over the years. You know, come up for Joe Carter's event a number of times, come up for some basketball games back in the Vince Carter days. And I've always had a pretty good time here.
You're really tied into that Vince Carter era back here in the early 2000s. What are your memories of that time? Being around
It was a very exciting time, and I think it opened a door that became a floodgate to young Canadian players believing in themselves. And now that's why you have such great representation in the NBA. I think Vince had a lot to do with that, so he should be credited with that.
How did your relationship with Nick develop to get on his foundation board? And did you have a history? Do you know each other from around the game?
Well, it wasn't around the game. It was around dinner one night in Atlanta, and he was down there with one of his best friends from high school, Frank Molek, and Frank's very friendly with my best friend in Atlanta, Peter Corey, and suddenly we're going from 6 degrees of separation to 3 degrees of separation to 1 degree of separation, and it led to an invitation by Nick to be invited to join his board, which I was happy to do a little over a year ago. And now this is the first event that I've been able to attend, and first of many, we hope.
It looks like you're paired with Kyle today. Are you looking forward to golfing with him?
I'm looking forward to golfing with him, and I think he's looking forward to golfing with me.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm kind of like, that's how Bill Russell always put it, because people used to always say, how do you feel playing against this guy and this guy? And he said, well, how do you think they felt playing against me? Or whatever. That was one of his lines, and he was my mentor. So I'll use his line, and as we honor his life and his passing on at the same time. But with Kyle, Philadelphia guy, Villanova guy, so we're connected, even though we haven't sat down and been formally introduced to one another. So that'll happen today. That'll come to pass today.
Mr. Russell's passing this week sort of took basketball to its core. You would have seen him all those years go around the game.
Yeah.
Can you sort of say what he meant to young players like yourself who would have been watching him when he was playing?
Yeah. So I watched him from afar during my youth and my teenage years, and then I was fortunate enough to have him come to UMass, where I attended, and extend the hand of friendship, to when I was 20 years old. So that was 50 years ago, 52 years ago. And to have that happen, it just made it important to me to try and do the same thing to players, trying to follow in my footsteps who admired my style of play or my on and off the court presence or what have you. So I learned so much from him. He was a role model. He was a mentor, and he was such a stud, unforgiving and opinionated. So this is what we have missed for many years as he became a senior citizen, and now that he's gone, we want to keep that alive.
Is there a legacy of his off-the-court fight against social and racial injustice that needs to be kept going or brought back to the fore?
I think it is going. I don't think it's ever gone away. I mean, I think it's been around for hundreds of years, and it's just chosen different leaders at different times. And during his heyday, he was one of the leaders. So, now there's somebody else. And it's an ongoing thing because it can never be perfect, and we want our society to be perfect. So let's keep striving to try and make a perfect society.
And basketball does seem to have the right kind of leadership among the star players that will carry that.
Yeah. I mean, I think LeBron is doing a yeoman's job. Steph Curry's doing a great job, and I mean, there are others. Some are doing it for themselves more so than the cause, but many are doing it for the cause. And, I'm happy to see that happen now that I'm a senior guy.
But as a senior guy, to bring some context to that conversation as well.
Oh yeah, and I do.
Yeah.
And I do. I've been blessed with the opportunity. I've been invited to a lot of things. This is a public event, so public-private, and to be invited here and to say what you feel and what you think, to make yourself available. I mean, if you make yourself available, the questions will be asked, and then you got to say what's in your heart.
Magic Johnson called on the NBA to retire number 6, Mr. Russell's. You also wore that number. What do you think of that?
It sounds very appropriate. I'm not sure what the demand was. Retire it from all teams, never to be used again, never to be worn again. I would think Mr. Russell would want somebody to wear number 6. I think he would be happy about that. I know if it were me, I'm happy to see people wear my number, and hopefully they're good and they can represent it well. But I had 2 numbers, 6 and 32. So when I see a 6 or I see a 32, I mean it resonates with me, and I think it's a compliment. So if you want to make it permanently disappear, I'm not too sure about that.
What kind of conversations do you have with Nick? When you're meeting up, are you talking about basketball? Are you talking about life? Can you give us an insight of what the conversation?
Well, the dinner conversation was talking about food, and then last night was more social. We had 20 to 30 people, so a little bit of wine, beer, food, and music, and it was strictly social. There was very little discussion about basketball, although there was one guy there who was like a fellow Long Island guy, and then he said we played with one another at one of the parks, and that started the basketball piece to it, because he was talking about a long time ago in my hometown, and that was pretty cool.